Hi all and welcome back. I hope all of you are staying safe at home. Well, today's class is on a very beautiful poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. I have tried to explain the poem line by line using all the references and hidden meanings in the simplest possible way. So just keep watching the video till the end. Well, I have uploaded the video on behalf of St. Mary's Higher Secondary School, New Kuch Bihar for all my class 7 students so that they do not skip on their classes, and I hope this video will be very useful to them. Well, starting with the class, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This is written by Robert Frost. Now, first of all, you need to know about the poet. Who was Robert Frost? Robert Frost was an American poet. He was born on 26th March 1874 in San Francisco, California, and he died on 29th of January 1963 in Boston. Now, Robert Frost mainly wrote nature poems. Okay, all his poems bore the description of nature. Some of his most famous poems would include The Road Not Taken, Mending Wall, and our poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Look at the title of the poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. The title itself tells that this poem falls under the genre of nature poem. Why? Just put a look on three words: woods, snowy, and evening. Woods, snowy, and evening. All three are elements of nature. Woods here means forest area. Snowy means the weather that is related to nature. It's snow time. And evening is the time of a day. So forest is a physical feature, snowy is the weather, and evening is the time of the day. All three are elements of nature. So the title itself clarifies that it is a nature poem. Moving on to the poem line by line. Whose woods these are, I think I know. So in the first line we come to know that Robert Frost has come to a wood. Wood means open forest area. He has come to a forest area and he thinks that he knows whose forest it is. In the second line, he explains us whose forest it is. He asks questions in the first line. In the second line, he answers it. How? His house is in the village though. So, the owner of the forest stays in a nearby village. Third line and fourth line, he says that the owner of the forest will not see two things. Number one, he will not see me stopping here. The owner of the forest will not see that Robert Frost has stopped in his forest now. And the second thing that he will not see is to watch his woods fill up with snow. The owner of the forest will not be able to see that his woods are filling up with snow. It means that snow is falling over the trees. The leaves, the trees, all are filled up with snow. It's snowing there. So you can imagine how beautiful the scenario is. The Robert Frost is standing in between the woods and it's a snowy evening. Snow is falling, all the trees and the entire forest is covered with snow. How beautiful the imagination of the poet is. Okay, beginning with the second stanza. My little horse must think it queer. Queer means strange. So, in the second line, we come to know that Robert Frost is not alone. He is accompanied by a little horse. Okay. And Robert Frost tells us that it seems very strange for his little horse. What are the strange things that the horse is feeling? He answers in the next three lines. to stop without a farmhouse near. His horse, little horse, is feeling strange how my owner has stopped today in a place where there is no farmhouse nearby. See, generally earlier when people used to go on errands, they used to go on horseback or on any animal cart, and they used to stop in farmhouses so that both the owner and the animal could take some rest. So here, when there is no farmhouse near for taking any rest and the weather is such chilling, it's snowing, so it's very strange for his little horse that why my owner has stopped in such a place where there is no farmhouse. Another thing which seems strange to the horse is between the woods and frozen lake, and the location where they have stopped is one side there is deep forest and on the other side there is frozen lake. That means the lake water has all frozen up and cold. There is no water even available to drink. On one side there is deep dark forest, and on the other side there is frozen lake, and in between that both the poet and the horse, they are standing. And also the third point that seems strange to the little horse is it's the darkest evening of the year. See, everything is dark. Imagine you are standing in a deep and dark forest, and it's the darkest evening of the year. No moonlight. It's all dark all around. You cannot see anything. So naturally, not only the little horse, anyone would feel very strange to stop in such a place and in such a condition, right? So what are the three things that seem strange to the horse? One is that why his owner has stopped without a farmhouse near. Next is why is the location such that in one side it's wood, filled with wood, and on the other side there is frozen lake. It's a very strange location. And the third point is it's the darkest evening of the year when you cannot see anything, what is happening all around, which road to take further. Okay, moving on to the third stanza. He gives his harness bells a shake. Now see, this is a sign of an animal to communicate with the owner. That is, the animal shakes the harness bell, makes the sound of the harness bell to communicate with the owner. What is a harness bell? The strap that is attached with the strap that is attached to the body of the horse with the cart. Okay, that is called the harness, and the bell is attached to the harness. So that is called the harness bell. And when the horse moves, the bell makes a sound. And the horse is shaking the harness bell now to ask the owner if some mistake has been done by the owner, because this is not the usual place that they take rest in. The only other sounds that can be heard except the harness bell sound are the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. See, downy flake means fluffy snowballs. When the wind carries snowflakes, it makes a hushing sound, a very rough type of sound. That sound is audible besides the sound of the harness bell. In the last stanza, the poet says, the woods are lovely, dark and deep. In the last stanza, the poet gives us the description of the wood, and this is also a visual imagery. The description of the woods. It's a very beautiful woods, lovely woods. It's a dark wood. It's a dark wood means a dense forest area, and as it is the darkest evening of the year, so you cannot see anything in between the forest area. And it's deep. The entire forest is all filled up with trees and endless area, endless roads. So it's called deep as well. So the woods are described by the three words lovely, dark and deep, and this is a visual imagery. Next, but I have promises to keep. Though the weather, though the place is very appealing to the poet, but still he has to leave the place immediately because he has many promises to keep. Here promises means duties and responsibilities of life. Okay, the duties and responsibilities of the poet towards his family, friends and his country. He has to go now from this forest because he has many responsibilities to take up. And miles to go before I sleep. See here, same line is repeated twice. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So the first line, the first and miles to go before I sleep implies that the poet has to leave this place immediately so that he can complete his journey today, go home and take rest. And the second miles to go before I sleep implies that the poet has to undertake many such journeys before he reaches his deathbed. Okay. First, miles to go before I sleep means putting an end to today's journey and going home and taking some rest. And second, miles to go before I sleep means to undertake many such journeys before he reaches his deathbed. Okay. Thank you students for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. See you soon in my next class. Thank you.